Welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory, my fellow friends. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. I'm having a great one myself. And in the last episode, we worked on oil production. That's right. We got ourselves a jetpack. We got ourselves oil production. We made some gas. We did a bunch of cool stuff. And today we're going to take advantage of the fact that we have unlimited supply of fuel. We're going to work on some trucks. We're going to do some transportation today. And on stream, I was very busy. The last stream we did, which was a few hours long, about 4 hours, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we built this massive piece of infrastructure. So why do we do it on stream? Well, it requires a lot of work. It takes a lot of hours and a lot of thought process. And you guys helped me out immensely in the design and the, thinking about how we're going to do things. So this is going to be the motorway, essentially. This is what's going to bring our resources from our steel factory way over there, and we're going to bring it all the way back to our main base where we can then process it. So the goal today is to get trucks working, or whatever they're called. What are these called? They may not be trucks. Tractors working. We're going to get tractors working. We're then going to try to get encased steel beams done today. Crossing my fingers we have time. That will be the next step in our production cycle that we need. I've also cleaned up a bunch of stuff at the base, which we'll show off later. But look at this. This thing's gorgeous. So this is future. There's a lot of future thought into this particular bridge here. We have a lot of resources on this side of the map, if we think about it, right? We know that we've done some exploration. We got some pure iron. We've obviously got our coal and other things on this side. That's what's down here. We need to bring this over to the other side of the river. Currently, we got this air skyway, which is super ugly. It's going to go away. It's going to be replaced by this bridge with these belts that are going to go on these pillars. And so we've already kind of pre-set up a beltway that can cross over and then go to our main base as needed, whether it's for power or for other manufacturing. And way above, you see these trusses. That's going to be for trains. Yes, folks, trains. We're really close. We're very close to unlocking trains. So I wanted to kind of preempt and get a thought process in place for our transportation hub. So this is where the trains are going to come across and they're going to go over to this part of the map. And then they're going to swing around. You can kind of see a little bit of concrete where my cursor is, the center screen. That's going to be the main train station right over here. So we're already kind of preparing that thought process. Also, we're going to be running some belts back towards this area over here where we need sulfur and coal to come together to create compacted coal for our fuel generation for turbo fuel. So this project was a massive 4-hour project. We did a lot of work. We got a lot of designs done. We also had some fun with this indestructible mushroom-like tree thing. So we made a little park. Look at that. Isn't that kind of fun? A little bit of decorating, a little tongue-in-cheek. And anyways, it was pretty cool. We also started to experiment with some lights and things, which let's take a look. I kind of have them disconnected right now, but I think if we grab this here and we just cheese this right now, if we go here and we go here like so, you can kind of see how the lights turn on. Really cool system. As far as I understand, it doesn't drain any power, which is great. And then you can come up and click on the street lights. So you can change the intensity, you can change the color, night mode, which means I think everything turns off or during the day, which would be really cool. So yeah, I'm very, very excited about this bridge and what's going to happen. Basically the next thing is we have to drive the route in a vehicle, which is going to go all the way down over to here. All right, so the first thing we need to do is lay down 2 truck stations. So we're going to do that like this. And what I'm thinking is the trucks will come in, they have to loop through, so they have to come through here. They stop for a second, they get the pickups, and then they keep going down this way. So this truck station takes in inputs and outputs. So you can offload, you can load, offload, and the fuel goes in through here. So whatever fuel source you're using can come in this way. So it's pretty versatile. It's an in and out. See, you have load, unload. I guess you can't do both, so you have to choose. And I mean, I guess what you could do is to say you want to bring something from over here to this one for some reason, you just need to have 2 truck stations beside each other, one to unload first and then one to load. So it's not a big deal. The train stations, I think, work a little differently. I think you can do both in one, but don't quote me on that. So this part here will be pretty simple. We're going to actually just go ahead and we're going to zoop it. We're going to zoop it. I said zoop. Zoop. We'll zoop this over here. And all we have to do now is just run these belts from our production facility over into basically the back end of this. So we're going to look here at where in and out are. So that's out, this is in. And so all we have to do is just run these belts and things will be perfect. So to make vehicles, you just have to go to your build menu and select them. We're going to rotate this around and we'll just place this down here. We're going to start it not right at the station. We'll start just over here. It does take fuel, and it also has a crafting bench in the back so you can store stuff and make things. So if you've never used vehicles before, they're kind of handy. You know, they're okay. They're okay. So as you can see down below, we have a menu here. We have record, load, show, hide, change, blah, blah, blah. So what we can do now is we can go ahead and start recording a path. And this is how the AI uses things. So we're going to go ahead and start recording, and we're going to drive our way down. And try to keep as straight as possible. And you can see as it goes, it's spitting out little blue nodes. And so I'm going to go all the way over to the other side. And hopefully this is going to go pretty quick. We shouldn't need too many vehicles on this run because I don't think we're manufacturing a lot. So I'm going to slow down here. And then I'm going to turn and make sure the nodes are good. And then we're just going to drive straight across the bridge. I might need to put a little corner piece in there just in case, because the AI isn't perfect. It gets a little squirrely, it gets a little creative sometimes with its pathing. So anyways, I'm gonna try to drive straight, but this thing likes to bump around a little bit. So as you can see, it's pretty quick. Like, it won't take long to get to our base. So right here, we're gonna be slow. This is a tight corner here. This is a little bit, this one I'm a little sketched on. I don't know that the AI is gonna nail that all the time. And then we're gonna come down over here. And this is where we need to put our factory. So we're actually just going to kind of loop around here. And we're going to go here. We're going to hit the record menu. We're going to stop recording for a second. But there you go. That's basically how you do it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set up. I'm going to delete this. We're going to go redo that. But I want to bring you over here to show you where we're going to put the second station. Like that. And then I'll do the final pathing in a second here. So where's the center line? This is the center line. So I was thinking we would just have the station kind of sitting right here. So we'll come loop around. And the same thing, except on this side, we're going to bring in fuel inputs to fuel up the truck. And then this will be set to unload. And now everything that comes over will end up getting put into our storage system. All right, as you can see, we have a path. You can see the arrows, and it demonstrates where things are going to go. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to load the path into the AI. We've got this loaded. Here you go. You can see the path on the map, which is really nice. We're going to load that. We're going to go ahead and hit the Q menu, and we're going to enable the autopilot on the vehicle. And now we should just let it go, and it should just loop around indefinitely until it either runs out of gas or power or some form of issue. So that being said, though, we're just going to jump on board here. We're going to hide the path like so. And that way I don't see it. And it's going to go. There you go. So it unloads. And as you can see, it stores all of the steel in here, which is great. And then off it goes. So we can follow it around and make sure everything is working. But I think we should be okay. It will warn you if you have an error, like say the trucks get stuck together, but because we have a two-way road, they should never actually come together. In theory, if we had more than one. Do we need more than one for this route? It's questionable. Initially, probably not, but all we'd have to do is basically just go ahead and add another vehicle. For example, we could just go here, encroaching on this clearance. We put it here like this, give it a little bit of fuel. Okay, have it come here, open the menu, enable autopilot, and it'll basically start off, it'll just go from where it thinks the nearest node is, in theory. Okay, there we go. Now I should just find it and drive. In theory. There it goes. Yeah, so it just goes to the nearest node. You know what? It won't work because I don't think we loaded a path. It just rolled down that hill. Okay, let's quickly do this because the other one's probably coming back soon. Hey man, stop rolling. These don't have any brakes. Let's go. Get it quick before it gets away. Okay, we got it. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. There we go. Okay, so load path, steal one, load it, queue, enable autopilot. There we go. Now it has a path. All right, off it goes. So it's going to do its thing. It's going to unload. It doesn't have anything on unload, so it's just going to take off. And it should just kind of loop around. Hopefully, if we look on the map, we should see where they're at. Yeah, so we got a decent spacing. That one just finished up at the docking station over there. So it's on its way back. Yeah, that's perfect. And they should cross, looks like they'll probably cross mid-span-ish. And that's it. So we just have two guys going. It's probably enough. It's probably overkill, honestly. I don't think we're generating enough steel per minute to run it. And this is a heck of a lot of infrastructure for such a small amount of trucks. But the point is, look at that. We nailed it perfectly. They're crossing mid-span. Oh, I love it. But the point really is here that we can add bigger vehicles. We get more vehicles. We can add more nodes. We can add second truck stations. They could stop in more than one place. Like I was saying, we can also have them load and offload in different spots, so we could spread resources around as needed. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that nice turn. Yeah, perfect. Nice. Okay, so it looks like we aced the pathing, and the trucks are gonna go ahead and just go around and around and around forever. So next up, I think we just need to connect the station to our supply and make sure that we are offloading, because this will get full pretty quick. And so I think for now we're just going to connect up over here. We'll take the Mark IV belt in and just make sure that we're always running this at maximum efficiency, because down the road, I mean, chances are pretty slim that we're going to peak this out, but let's go ahead and just make sure we don't ever have an issue with it. And then for this one, we'll go ahead and run this to here. We can just bring this guy right over here. Nice and neat. And actually this one can probably just go straight down into it like that. Perfect. And then for the fuel, it's the same thing. We'll just run the fuel from over here. This will change over time. This pad is just kind of temporary, but we're just, this is mostly just for demonstrations today. We'll get this down over here, and then we have fuel supply going into the back here. So essentially, we don't have to worry about the trucks. We're offloading at a really fast rate. Look at this. This is already full. Holy smokes. Is this really already full? That is incredible. It's already full. Jeez. Huh. Looks like we're gonna quickly run out of space here. Looks like this is half empty already. The nice thing too is you can actually see the efficiency of your truck system as well. You can see how many are coming in and how many are going out. And here comes a truck for an example right now. It's coming in nice and slow. He's about to offload. See, even though there's an animation, that as soon as the truck enters the zone, it looks like it offloads things. So yeah, that's a thing for sure. Okay, you know what we should do probably right now is let's get a sink going. This is just because, like, we can afford it. But if we bring a sink in from here, there we go. And we'll just sync the items. We'll generate some tickets, just cause. May as well as. Overflow protection. That way we're still running the steel plant. Now actually, that being said, it'll be interesting to see, because we're only bringing in steel from one part of the plant, but you can see our power capacity, our power requirement is actually greater than our production right now. So it's gonna be really important to get into fuel. Okay, we're back on our main base, just slightly over from where we've been working with the trucks. And there are the tractors. And what I want to do now is I'm actually going to smart split at some point here. We need to smart split off. This is going to be interesting. I think we have to sync I think we're gonna have to sink some stuff here, but we're gonna smart split off the steel beams so that the steel beams go up one and then the pipes go up another. And then at the top here, we're gonna split it again, and those we'll take some of the steel beams and we'll put it into a encased beam factory. So I'm not so sure how this works because I've never used it, but left output should be, I think we can just go down here, right? Is it just like we select it? Is this a thing? How do we find? Is there a search? Oh, we can search. Thank goodness. Okay, steel beams. We want that to go at the left. The right, we don't want anything. And then the center, we want steel pipe. Okay, so I think that's how it works. I hope that's how it works. And essentially, we're just going to come around like this. This is all going to get cleaned up eventually. I'm just, again, just... This part and up is done. This is going to stay the way it is. This part and back is going to change over time as we kind of flesh out the connection between these two places. Okay, so that being said, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a sink at the top here to flush this pipeline. And then actually, before we even do that, back over here, let's go and let's upgrade this belt here to a Mark 4. That way we can maximize. I mean, we're probably never going to use it, but if we do this, then at the very least, we're maximizing our production. Now this is, what is this here? This is a Mark 3. Perfect. So these are Mark 3s. Excellent. So Mark 3, so Mark 4s to Mark 3s. And then what we'll do over here is we'll connect up this facility here, like so and like so. And then ultimately, we're actually just gonna break this now. And we'll add this and have this guy go into there. So now we're feeding this beast, and we'll get rid of this guy right here. And we'll actually just move him up top to where we can use that. That's good, yeah. And then we should, essentially what's gonna happen is we'll chomp the pipes and we'll keep the steel beams for now. And if this works, everything should show up at the top. Okay, so we're syncing those, and now that should clear up, and you can start to see down below, we're seeing a split of, yep, there it looks like it's working. Splitting it off, yeah, excellent. So, I mean, I don't know how efficient this is. I think what we have, what we should probably do, because as you can see, we're getting massive gaps. I was hoping I could do one at a time, but I think we're gonna have to split these further back. I think we have to do a smart split over here so that the storage boxes have, yeah, I think that's what we need to do, because this is a huge amount of gap between receiving steel, because I don't know that, I'm not sure how random it is. I think it's just basically by stack, right? Now, yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll smart split it earlier, and that'll make it look good. And anyways, I'll show you where we're going. Over here, I've built a little bit of a concrete production facility. It's kind of fun, like just another little design. These are not laid out super efficient. They're not like incredibly clean, but I'm trying to use the available space I have in all these little nooks and crannies and build like little buildings. And so basically now we have enough concrete coming in from this one mine, or enough limestone is concrete, where we're generating 30, 30, 30. So we're generating 90 cement, essentially. And then we can convert that into the steel. So I need to pull this line right here over and around to go into this section. So eventually, once the steel beams come over, they'll feed this beast. Now, we have to get over here, and I guess I'll just kind of run maybe a little platform out, like so. We can experiment with neatness later. Or what I could do is I could actually run it around and have it be elevated over here so we can walk underneath. Maybe that'll look better. Okay, perfect. So I have the belts coming in, and we have the steel coming around the corner here. And what I'm hoping for is we should start to see everything work. Now, I'm gonna have to go down and fix that splitter down below. But yeah, I mean, basically now we have a encased steel concrete or encased beam Satisfactory. And what we'll do here is we'll make it nice and neat. We'll build up the walls around it and kind of encase it in a nice looking building. And then we can adjust this belt later. This is just this one diagonal connection. I left it there just as a kind of temporary thing. Once we get the building structure in place, then we'll route it a little differently. But just getting it off of this pad over here works really well. And we can actually probably put a splitter right there and continue to bring it up if we wanted to, or we could put a splitter on the backside and bring it up if we needed to as well. So there's a few ways to get it up to the top to our main factory if that is needed, and that's a pretty good thing. So let me go fix this part down here and make sure that we are maximizing our throughput. Okay, everything's done now. The smart splitter works. We're filtering them into 2 different chests, and then we're outputting them to different places. One's being sunk, this one's not, and as you can see, we're just really quickly pulling them out. There's a bit of a lag. I'm a little concerned, but we have a big enough buffer, so I'm hoping. I think we'll be okay. I think our input is fast enough, and let's just take a look here. Yeah, I think we're probably going to outstrip the pace of the trucks pretty quick. That's okay though. We're not going to produce enough steel encased beams. Like, we're not going to use enough of the steel to maximize our output here, so that's fine. Anyways, let's go up top, let's take a look, and let's go and store those beams. So we're outputting 6 a minute, so 18 total. That's pretty slow. I have to admit, that's pretty slow. But for a quick starter setup where we're just leveraging 270 belts, so we're turning 270 limestone into concrete, and then, we have a lot more steel coming in than we could possibly use. At this point, we're using 48, 52, 72 essentially. So not a lot, but that, over time, this is just going to build up and provide us with what we need. If we look at some of the recipes that this will go into, for example, let's build production. Let's go ahead and build a craft bench. If we look at some of the computers, don't need it for that, but there are some more advanced. Let's see down here. None of these are going to need it, that's for sure. Maybe modular frames, heavy modular frames. Yeah, here you go, heavy modular frames. So this is going to be, we need 100 of them for our monorail technology. So the next thing I want to do in the next episode is we're going to make a manufacturer that then takes this input. So at this point, we're actually producing everything we need to make this heavy modular frame. And especially if it takes 5 per, and we're generating, what are we generating? 6. So we're going to we'll probably easily be able to feed that manufacturer with what we've got. Anyways, that's it for today's episode. You know what to do. Bang on the like button down below. Crash that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. My name is Boom, and I'm out.